Hello and welcome to Racers coverage of the 8th round of the 17-race NTT IndyCar Series season. The event is the Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey. The venue, beautiful WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Now, when you hear Laguna Seca, you immediately think corkscrew, because that elevation change is one of the defining and most iconic corners anywhere in motorsport. However, there's a lot more to Laguna Seca than that. We had the opportunity to ride along with Verizon Business Team Penske Chevrolet driver Will Power as he and his race engineer Dave Faustino surveyed the track. Power, the current points leader, will be your guide to the standout features of this 2.238 mile track. So Will, talk us through how hard it is to stay on the black stuff or kind of sandy grey stuff as you're exiting pit lane here.
Pit lane is very difficult because when you're leaving in the race, you're on heavy fuel, cold tires. It's actually off camber and extremely slippery because the dust is on it. Not many people have run on it like they have on the tracks. There's no rubber down. So yes, over the weekend you will see multiple people go across the gravel onto the racetrack, but in the race that's a penalty. So you always got to weigh on the side of caution. But as you know, in those pit stop sequences around this track, it is very important to have a fast outlap. So, you know, the braking for that particular corner can gain a lot of time, but it can also cost you a race.
So we reached turn 5. This corner's always kind of intrigued me somewhat because there seem to be a variety of lines through here. So how do you pick which one? Yeah, the fastest line's obviously going to be from the outside to the apex, right?
Yeah. It's actually a corner you turn in quite early for because there's banking, so it catches the car nicely, catches the front. Your apex right there on that whatever you want to call that thing.
Yellow marker.
Yeah, the marker. It's you always have mid-off understeer. You always push off of this corner, so it's very hard to get the car to work. Makes you want to turn in a bit later and really get a nice yaw moment in the car to get out. But it's a fun corner, yeah.
And if you're actually battling with someone and you want to take them up the inside, how much of not using the racing line is that really a momentum killer for going up the hill, because it's a long old hill?
Now the track has changed from last year since the resurface. Last year you couldn't get offline, so it made it very difficult to pass. Now online's been used up a lot. I think it's lost a lot of grip, so then you can start using alternate lines to get runs on people. So it will be interesting to see how that plays out. Yeah.
Talk about fearsome turn 6 then.
I would say turn 6 is the toughest corner on the track. It's kind of blind on the entry and it really drops down into this dip. And then the car kind of rebounds out of it. So you always get either loose or push heading out to that curb there.
Right.
Very difficult to get the exact turning point. It's very light on entry. So it's always need minimal wheel in it. It's easy to have a moment on the way in. But you have a lot of commitment, man. It's fourth gear corner,
wow,
full commitment and a big run up the hill. So a lot of lap time to be found here.
So, Will, the famous corkscrew. Again, is there a variety of lines you can take here?
Well, I think that it's a pretty straightforward line. It just depends what you do with your brake pressure and all that, how much speed you flow over this first apex to where you land on the other side. It's completely blind as you hit this apex. You don't even know where you're going to land. But it's the more you can compress the brake zone and the exit, the better. The better the braking and the better the exit. Obviously, you carry a ton of middle speed, but you'll wash off and be on all the dirty stuff there and get a bad exit.
Right.
Very tough corner. Tough. But
do you do what some people say and do and aim for the tree or anything like that?
I don't think my references is all on this first apex and how much speed I'm carrying and how the car's balanced to where I land.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turn 9 looks like it's double apex if you look at where do you want to be as you emerge there? Do you want to be hugging the inside or?
Yeah, you want to be absolutely on the apex here. The car gets a lot of understeer in this corner because of all the camber, and a lot of compression. So, yeah, if you miss the apex, you generally run out wide down the exit. But yeah, it's a lot of just managing throttle through here. You know, it's an interesting shaped corner. It really is. It does look like it has a double apex. So you kind of do apex early in a way. But yeah, very, very intense corner. A lot of load.
And these extra runoff bits, I mean, it's not like they're clearly someone's used them. But
yeah, you can actually use that. People go out on the exit of that.
Okay.
Can be dangerous for us because you lose your rear and go in there. But
right.
Yeah, depends how you get this apex.
So, Dave Faustino, been with Will since 2007, with only one year's break.
Yes, correct.
So congratulations on the win the other week, and now we come to Laguna Seca, a whole bunch of new challenges. We've seen a lot of the track surface is very scuffed up. How can you already tell whether this is going to be a red race or a primary race?
Yeah, the track definitely looks like it's degraded a lot already. You can see that the aggregate is opened up and there's a lot of stones sticking out. So to me it means that it'll be a little bit more of a degradation race, which would lean back towards like the primary tire likely being preferred. Yeah, it's definitely heading already back towards the older Laguna. I'm sure it won't be all the way back, but it looks like it's headed that way.
Right. And is Laguna like Sonoma in that if there's a wind direction change, suddenly there's a grip level change because a bunch of sand has flown onto it?
Yeah, you can get that. If it's windy and then you start running, the track will be really slippery until the cars clean it off. But because it's pretty exposed here too, and there's a lot of high-speed corners, just the wind direction can kind of slow one down, make one looser, make one push more. So every morning you definitely have to check the wind direction and just have a little bit of anticipation of what you're going to have. So yeah, much like Sonoma in that respect.
Okay. And finally then, now that you're leading the championship by 5 points, what's your approach? Are you on full attack, or is it just, if someone that's way behind in the championship is ahead of you, you like just think, okay, second place is good enough today?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if that is the case, that probably is correct. I mean, if it's somebody that's in the championship hunt, you got to go for it, and you got to go for it in qualifying. You got to, get yourself as far up as you can to start. But yeah, you're right, and it's going to be very situational. Just trying to make a good decision every race to just collect the most we can, and just do that week in and week out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, best of luck. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Subscribe to Racer and save 24% off the cover price. You'll get the print and digital editions with an issue archive through 2012. Visit info.racer.com to learn more.